Stop me if you've heard this one before. DraftKings done it again. Your boy Jersey Murf back partnering with the great folks over at DraftKings who told me to tell you that new customers placing a $5 bet will get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Just head on over to your Google Play or Apple Store, download that DraftKings Sportsbook app, and get to playing. Too much fun to be had, man. Make sure you're getting in on those same game parlays. That's when you combine multiple bets together for a shot at an even bigger payout. And if you're already signed up for DraftKings like your boy, you can get a no sweat bet. You can get your bonus bet back if your same game parlay doesn't hit. Top Billin is the promo code. Make sure you download that DraftKings Sportsbook app and have as much fun as your boy Jersey Murf is having. It's about to be on. Let's go. Jersey Murf. I was raised by a legitimate gangster. My dad once told me back in the day when I was a little kid, if the bully comes around that corner, we're going to sit here and wait for him. He comes around that corner, I want you to run up on him and punch him in the mouth. It's a fact though, right? True story. So I'm going to stick my hand on the fire like only I do, because anybody with even half a brain would know that I do not want to talk about this cat, Russell Wilson. In fact, I had to make a nickname up calling him the artist formerly known as Seattle Starter, because most of the Seahawks fans on the channel will find some way to work his name into every single video that I did. To this day, as the great Deontay Wilder once said, he has been mentioned in every video I've done on the Seattle Seahawks since he was traded away to the Broncos. Despite the fact that a lot of those guys try to make fun of him, right? Last year when he was struggling, they were making fun of him. This year, right, he played better, and you had a lot of people start doing the old woe is me thing because they don't like the current starting quarterback there. They were doing the whole, oh, man, if we had Russell Wilson, this would be this and that and this. Well, I think it's time for a reunion. There is only one place this man should be. It is in Seattle. He should have never talked his way out of Seattle. This shit is a perfect fit. He is the biggest cornball in all of sports. Him being a Seattle Seahawk makes sense, right? Not trying to be disrespectful to the Seattle Seahawks people, but that shit wouldn't fly in Philly. It wouldn't fly in New York. It wouldn't fly in Baltimore. That shit is perfect for Seattle. They cultivated this dude, man. He was a superstar, fun to watch. But now he finds himself getting benched with 2 games left, and they're clearly moving on from him, especially when you see stuff like this. By Mark Mask of the Washington Post here. I apologize if that's not how you say his name there, but he was saying something, or he said something to the fact of they threatened to bench Wilson for the rest of the season if he did not agree to rework his contract to address the injury guarantee, right? They want him to address the injury guarantee because that means they're planning on moving on from you and they don't want you injured in the last couple of games, and they have to take care of your $37 million injury guarantee, right? Look, they wanted to preserve their ability to cut him before a $37 million injury guarantee becomes fully guaranteed. Think about that. He's done. Absolutely cooked, right? Man, play all that time in Seattle doing all those great things, couldn't last 2 years in Denver, right? Couldn't last 2 years because he didn't play the last couple of games there. So let's not mince any words here. Russell Wilson can still play some damn good football in the NFL. It's still the same setup for him in Seattle, but with even more targets, right? He has a better supporting cast than he left with. Imagine that. He has a better overall offensive line than he left with, even though the offensive line, in my opinion, is still a work in progress, but the answers are there on the test. Got some young guys like an Olawatimi who could step in and be very good in the future as well. But even as it's presently constructed, it's a better offensive line than he left with there. There was no Jackson Smith and Jigba there, right? You still got his main man, Dennis Rodman Jr. himself, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. I don't know how that works out for next year with those guys or whatever, but hey, Noah Fant being there. He still has Will Dissly and Kobe Parkinson as well. I believe Kobe Parkinson was there when he was there, or it might have been his rookie year or something like that. But listen, the backside of the backfield. So he's never played with a Kenneth Walker. He didn't have a Zach Charbonnet and these guys and some of the guys they have on the bench there. It is a team set up for success with a Russell Wilson. You put him in there, right? That's why I started covering Seattle, right? When I was hounded by Seattle fans, when I was covering this weak-ass Atlanta Falcons team that I used to cover, right? As a matter of fact, I'll get to them also in a second. And I was tired of the consternation at quarterback. I was like, oh man, Seattle, these guys want me to do some stuff on them. It went well. And I was like, they don't have any quarterback problems. They have a superstar quarterback. At the very least, I won't have to worry about that. I can concentrate on the fabric of the game and show people what I can do from a film dissection standpoint, not having to always do stuff on the quarterback. And it worked out very well the first year, and then it started going downhill from there. He talked his way out of town, and here we have it right now to where it has to be the most annoying coverage I've ever been a part of. And I'm just going to be real with you. It is. We just seen Drew Lock win a game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Geno Smith comes back, does the same exact thing, drives down twice for game-winning drives, and a lot of the comments coming out of that were negative about Geno Smith, who had a better game than Drew Lock did overall against the Eagles. And people who weren't doing that about Drew Lock, they were all elated about Drew Lock and his win over the Eagles. And don't give me that Eagles shit, because the Eagles, we're not playing that well right now. We're not playing any better than the Tennessee Titans. If you can't see that, then I don't know what to tell you. Cool, yeah, the record says something, but the defense is geared for somebody to play better than even Drew Lock played. So the Tennessee Titans have a better defense. And Seattle was able to go in there on a 1 o'clock game on the road, right? So the body clock says 10 o'clock a.m. and all this and that. They have a slow start, finish strong. Geno throws a couple of touchdowns, no interceptions, none of that shit, and you get a bunch of negative energy coming out of that. They need a reset. They don't need a quarterback who's a rookie either, because this team is set up to win a possible Super Bowl with the way it's constructed with a lot of these older veterans there. I'm not sure how that sets up for next year, but it's a ton of talent on both sides of the ball, and a guy like Russell Wilson, to me, makes them an instant contender. They're already a contender now with Geno Smith, and I'm not so sure that Russell Wilson is flat out better than Geno Smith in an offense like this. This offense suits a Geno Smith there, but it's an untenable situation. They need to move on from that particular thing right there. That's just my opinion there. And Russell Wilson would be perfect. But beyond that, I'm not sure if that happens there. Probably a lot of burned bridges, I would imagine. So Russell Wilson, we could talk about some other teams that he should go to. My first thought is those Atlanta Falcons. These clowns, I suggested that they get Lamar Jackson when he wanted a trade last year, and their weak, dumbass fan base was up there talking about, no, we don't want no Lamar Jackson, Claytus. Just a bunch of social media pairs because people were down on Lamar Jackson and all this and that. Now how does that look? They was talking about they like this cat they have named Desmond Ridder. Who? Desmond Ridder? Yeah, they got Desmond Ridder, about 13 times this year, and they're playing with some cat named Taylor Heineke. So while Lamar Jackson looks like he's about to win the MVP, Lamar Jackson on the Atlanta Falcons is a team that would have won the NFC South and probably advanced in the playoffs. And you never know what happens when you can ball out and make the playoffs. That's just it, right? So now they're hanging on by a thread, trying to make the playoffs, trying to win that division and all that there. But you know what I'm saying? We see how that work out. Him as an Atlanta Falcon, I think would be pretty cool, right? I don't think it matters his personality. I think will be fine in Atlanta. Obviously, his wife is from there, and I think it would be a pretty good fit football-wise there from the style of play that they have there. So unless they fire the coach or something like that. You guys got to give me some other teams. But I definitely want to know what you Seattle Seahawks fans, think about a reunion with the artist formerly known as Seattle starter Russell Wilson. Obviously, you guys are in a playoff race right now as the number 7 seed, so this is kind of funny to be talking about. But hey, it is content that is relevant to the situation here, so we shall trek on down this road that I know I really did not want to go down. So, all right, Russell Wilson to the Seattle Seahawks. What does that do for you guys? And hey, man, just let me know. All right, it's your boy Jersey Murf, as always, keeping it 100. Make sure you tip your waiter. You know I'll be serving that hibachi. And, of course, strike the band.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.